what's going on, everybody? My name is Mike Brown, aka ReviewKingMB, and I just got back from the theaters after finally seeing The Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 2. This has taken me entirely too long to see. I know, I'm a little late with this review, but better late than never. For anybody who might not know what I think of the Hunger Games movies as a whole, the first movie I liked, the second movie I loved, and then the last movie, which was Mockingjay Part 1, I thought was good, but I didn't love it. It was one of those movies where you can tell once it ends that it's just not complete. It's not supposed to be complete, but you're left hanging. You get the whole movie that's full of downbeat, depressing moments, and it's just non-stop. Jennifer Lawrence, Katniss, is being beaten down, and everybody's being beaten down, and then it just ends. And I'm like, I have to wait a year to see this? Well, that year is finally here. This movie is directed by Francis Lawrence. I don't think there's any relation to Jennifer. But the plot is we pick up right where the last movie left off, where Katniss is gonna end this war finally, take the fight to Donald Sutherland's character, President Snow. She's finally gonna take back control and end this. But of course, President Snow will not be taken lightly. He has an arsenal of things waiting for them. So thus, a new Hunger Games begins. Now, what I thought of this movie was, I very much enjoyed it. I did. I guess, in retrospect, you needed that part 1 to lay down the foundation, the groundwork, the build-up to everything that this movie was. Because this movie, for the most part, was the finale, obviously, but it was everything that we kind of wanted. It was all of the action. It was all of the suspense, the tense moments, building up to when it came to. I will say that some of the things that I enjoyed the most, well, obviously Jennifer Lawrence as Katniss. I like her a lot. Jennifer Lawrence, what more can I say about her just as an actress? Because before this movie, they showed a trailer of this movie she's doing, Joy. And in that movie, it's very different drama. She's playing even an older person. Then you jump to the Hunger Games, and she's playing like a teenager. And she's young, she's naive, but she has to grow to become stronger, to become more confident, and become willing to have to be the person that kills Donald Sutherland's character, who I should bring up, President Snow. Throughout all of these movies has been evil, but it's kind of amazing how the first film he's barely in it, but you get a sense of who he is, and with each and every movie he gets more sinister, more dastardly. And that does not end with this movie. He's definitely a villain that you want to see get killed, punished for everything that he's done. One of the things he did was he took PETA in the last movie and tortured him to the point where now he's only a shell of himself. There's pieces of him there, but there's also another piece of him who just wants Katniss dead at all cost. And he's trying to fight it. He can't control it at points. And I think this is the most interested I've been in PETA. Not that I ever disliked him, but, you know, you kind of have the traditional love triangle with the two of them and Liam Hemsworth's character, and you kind of just go like, all right, well, this isn't really anything too different than with like what Twilight did, right? But this especially, it showed another dimension to PETA, him trying to figure out what was real and what's not, what was done to him by the Capitol, and seeing that Katniss is clearly very much in love with him and doesn't want to give up on him. Other characters, you have Woody Harrelson, obviously, enjoy him a lot, Elizabeth Banks, Julianne Moore, Philip Seymour Hoffman, that I almost forgot that he died while making these movies, so you don't know how much of it was post and whatnot, but still, it was good to see him in his last movie, Jeffrey Wright. Like I mentioned earlier, it's the action, it's just the craziness going on when they're trying to get towards the Capitol to get at Snow, and he set up all of these traps, all of these deadly devices that will kill you. And you see some of these characters dying. Some of these characters that you've grown attached to from previous movies. Characters that you just wasn't really expecting to die. You see them die and it hurts. It does hurt. But I will say by the end of it all, I was pretty damn satisfied. I very much enjoyed this film. One scene I have to bring up, and hopefully this isn't too much of a spoiler, but there's a scene where they have to go underground through the sewers and they encounter these creatures. What the fuck was that? Like, where did they come from? What were they? It was just like, after 4 movies, we're introducing these weird creatures. They were scary. It was an awesome fight scene and stuff, but still, like, please, maybe people who read the books, explain that to me. Either way, I'm giving this movie a full price. Definitely. It's, you know, you can't recommend it more, especially if you've been watching these movies all along. You have to see the finale and see it in 30th. So guys, let me know in the comments below if you have seen The Hunger Games Mockingjay Part 2. What do you think of it? Like, comment, subscribe. Later!